Namaste. I want to explain my strategy to use Sanskrit words that are not translatables as a very, very powerful device to Sanskritize the English language. In my book, Being Different, I introduced the concept of Sanskrit non-translatables as the largest chapter in that book. I give examples of about 25 such terms out of hundreds of such terms that exist. I explain the philosophy of Sanskrit as a vibrational language. I explain why many terms do not have an equivalent in English because the other civilization just didn't have that kind of experience, so they have no word for it. And I give solid logic that all the translations of these words, the common translations like Atman is replaced by soul, and Pran is replaced as breath, and Shakti is translated as energy. These are misleading, they are limited, they actually truncate the full purpose and the full import of that particular Sanskrit word. So these non-translatables, to do justice to them, should remain as they are in the original Sanskrit language and never translated. This means a lot of our gurus who've been translating them have done a wrong thing. Maybe in hindsight they should change. Now, when you introduce Sanskrit non-translatables, it has three benefits. The first benefit is you protect the integrity of what that word means. You don't compromise the meaning of Atman and start calling it soul. And then before you know it, people in the next generation who don't know what Atman means, they think it means the same thing as soul, the way it's commonly understood in the English language for the past hundreds of years. And if you digest the idea of Atman into the idea of soul, you've actually caused a lot of distortion. So the use of Sanskrit non-translatables will prevent digestion. This is the first benefit. The second benefit is that people who want to become sympathetic to Sanskrit and get the benefit of Sanskrit can do so without learning full sentences. They can keep speaking in English and just add Sanskrit non-translatable words into their vocabulary. So keep speaking English, but refer to Atman, refer to Shakti, and make a whole lot of Sanskrit terms part of your vocabulary. So when you use Sanskrit terms in some other language, you are Sanskritizing that language. And therefore we could Sanskritize English. This is a very innovative, a very bold idea that I'm bringing to your attention now. So that's the second benefit. We will be able to bring complex meanings, sophisticated meanings, metaphysical ideas into the minds and the lives of people who are not Sanskrit speaking by introducing these words and explaining to them very carefully exactly what each word means. Because when they start using these words in English, part of the training will be to be able to explain why the substitute in English is not a good idea, how it differs, how it distorts, and when you use the Sanskrit word, how it actually enriches your life. So that's the second purpose. The first purpose is protect Sanskrit, the integrity of those words. Second is Sanskritize the English language. Third advantage, the Sanskrit word like Shakti, once it's entered the English vocabulary, and a lot of people are using it and they're understanding what it means, it acts as a poison pill. It begins to challenge and dismantle the metaphysics being assumed by English-speaking people. Because once you explain to them Shakti, it's not just energy, it also has built-in intelligence, which energy doesn't, because energy is very material. But Shakti is not just material. So when you introduce the full range of meanings of Shakti, or of Pran, or of Atman, these become like poison pills. They actually pierce, penetrate, challenge and undermine some of the metaphysical assumptions built into those who are English-speaking people. So from defense, it becomes offense. Defense is the first benefit. We protect ourselves from getting digested, because if you translate these Sanskrit words, they get digested, the meanings get lost. We start with that. Then the second is we expand the popularity of these words and the metaphysics they represent into the English-speaking world. And the third is we then use these as a poison pill, because now we can actually debate, we can argue. When we have enough people using them, we can explain that those who use these words are actually metaphysically on a stronger plane than those who don't. Here is my plan. I have, ever since I wrote the book Being Different, I have been working on a book called 108 Non-Translatables. After that book is done, I'll expand it to 1008. Now this 108 non-translatables is also coming out as a video series. So let's say we give, in the beginning it'll be a few minutes to explain each word, but eventually we'll expand maybe a 1 hour lesson for every word, explaining what that word means and how it's being commonly mistranslated, why those mistranslations are wrong, and what is lost when you use those mistranslations. And also how to use this word as a poison pill. So I'm developing this series of lessons into a course, an online e-learning course, using a lot of video, a certain amount of reading supplemental stuff, some assignments and so on. It'll be very interesting, very exciting. And I've had these videotaped discussions with some very important, well-known experts, one Sanskrit non-translatable at a time. My hope is that starting in early 2018, we will launch this course in a very big way. I would like to have 1 lakh students take this course and finish it. That's my goal. In the next 3 years, I would like to have 1 lakh students who understand Sanskrit non-translatables. So we will put in one lesson a week gradually, and then we'll accelerate it to maybe 2 lessons a week, so that a person who signs up could spend a year and finish off the whole course and enrich their English language with this Sanskrit, and in doing so Sanskritize English. I want your help in many different ways. We need funding, we need to institutionalize this, publish it widely, we need experts and scholars, a lot of videotaping. So I would like you to donate generously. I would also like help from those who are really good scholars who are willing to put their time and effort into it. They can contact me. Thank you very much. I think this is an amazing program to introduce Sanskrit in a way that we literally Sanskritize the English language. Namaste. To help me, you can go to the subscribe button on my YouTube and subscribe. We need more subscribers there. Secondly, I get lots of emails on people saying, how do we donate? How can we help you? You go to rajivmalhotra.com or you go to infinityfoundation.com and you can hit the donate button. If you're in a foreign country like in the US or somewhere, you can donate in dollars. There are different ways mentioned. If you want to donate in rupees, there is a column called Infinity Foundation India, and you click that and there are instructions on how you can donate in India.